From empowerment initiative to global health matters. This time, the Lagos State Deputy Governor, Quadri Hamzat, has emphasized the need to strengthen healthcare infrastructure in order to protect against biosecurity risks in Lagos and the country as a whole. Mr. Hamzat, who was speaking on the 10th African Conference on One Health and Biosecurity, advocates for a One Health approach to address interconnected threats in Africa. Take a look.
Nigeria is one of African countries known to be endemic to diseases such as malaria, Lassa fever, cholera, measles, tuberculosis, and several others. Concerns about the true health status of Nigerians and the need for periodic checks is brought to the fore at the 10th African Conference of Practitioners, Senior Government Officials at the state and federal levels that converge to deliberate on Africa's preparedness against global health threats.
We've seen increase in frequency and intensity of emerging infectious diseases. WHO says clearly that every 3 days, that is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, there's an acute public health event that is reported to WHO in the African region. And about 80% of these are infectious diseases, and most of them are from animal origin. And we can see in the last 10 years, it's as if as we're handing something, another thing is coming up. From COVID to Zika to dengue fever to monkeypox to Lassa fever. And as we speak, there's an ongoing Lassa fever outbreak in some countries in sub-Saharan Africa. It shows clearly that infectious diseases are not something we can wish away. It's not a matter of if next, it's a matter of when next. And the best we can do is to enhance our preparedness for whatsoever might come to us in Africa.
The State Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, warns against the high rate of deforestation, which amplifies climate change and biosecurity risks.
We have a total of about 1 million vertebrate viruses. All these animals and the wildlife are all carrying different types of pathogens. We as human beings and microbiologists only know about 2,000 of these viruses, which means that there are about 99.8 viruses out there that have the potential to be a zoonotic event, like COVID. And so the pool is huge, and the threat is real. And so there's a branch of synthetic engineering called GOFROC, Gain of Function, Research of Concern. And there are laboratories all over the world performing GOFROC. What are they doing? They are making pathogens more dangerous than they are naturally in life. And what is the reason for that? The reason they're doing that is because pathogens naturally mutate themselves. And so they're trying to recreate the way a pathogen will mutate so that they can understand what it will do when it does mutate and have an antidote and a treatment when and if such an event should happen. And so they're trying to create vaccines and treatments to be able to withstand a pathogen that could pose a threat to life on Earth. We have a BSL-3 in Lagos, but we do not have a BSL-4. It's a very sophisticated laboratory that is only built in very advanced environments. And so this synthetic biology, from this map, I just want you to note that a lot of research is going on around the world in synthetic biology. And Africa there is blank. Almost no synthetic biology is happening on the continent of Africa in terms of research. Why is that important? It's important because it leaves us vulnerable. Because if the whole world is working on synthetic biology, we at least need to know and understand what it means for us and how, when they introduce synthetic biology concepts into our everyday life, which is happening as we speak. And so biosecurity is not just about the next doomsday pandemic or which terrorist organization is going to unleash biological mayhem on humanity. Integrated biosecurity and One Health is a way of life, an emerging concept that Lagos wants to promote aggressively across agencies responsible for health, environment and sanitation, agriculture, urban city planning, which is clearly depicted in our themes agenda, themes plus agenda.
The multiplying effects of the COVID-19 pandemic was also an eye-opener as speakers highlight the need to strengthen Africa's health and economic systems to avoid destabilization during disease outbreaks.
City managers, town and urban planners, governors, local government chairmen, senators, congressmen must understand that our civilization is at risk in spite of all of the progresses that we have made. This is the time that we must ensure that we end practices like open defecation and open urination. It must come to an end. These are some of the tools that will be most useful in the defense of the human civilization against biosecurity attacks.
Disease outbreaks undoubtedly have profound implications on both the economic and security of nations, particularly in regions with existing vulnerabilities. Nigeria, our precious nation, with diverse socioeconomic challenges, exemplifies this dynamic. And from the statistics that we have seen clearly in the last few conversations, Lagos State, being the commercial hub of Nigeria, experiences unique impacts due to the dense population and the undeniable economic activities that go on within Lagos State. For the African continent, these crises represent a wake-up call. Our continent needs to strengthen its health architecture, bolster its economic resilience, and build a future that is secure and sustainable. It is clear that proactive measures and innovative financing strategies are crucial in addressing the nexus between health, economic stability, and security.
Deputy Governor, over to you, sir.
The Deputy Governor of Lagos, Kadri Hamzat, says government is committed to continuous provision of health infrastructure to address all forms of health challenges.
Our journey from past outbreaks, such as Ebola in West Africa, through COVID-19 pandemic, and into an uncertain future, which they've told us is X, whatever that means, is a reminder of how vital it is to develop resilience. Together, we have built a foundation that allows us to respond more effectively and efficiently to emerging threats, saving countless lives and protecting the health and security of our country. And like we've listened to various speakers on Ebola, I think it is time for us to maybe just clap for Dr. Adadeva, somebody who lost her life. You know, we know that we have done various things, but I think it's never enough. So may our soul continue to rest in peace. As we look beyond the recent development and pandemic, we must prioritize strengthening national health systems, investing in primary health care, surveillance, and emergency preparedness. We need to survey global partnerships, leveraging international support, research, and development to address Africans' unique challenges. We must improve on our community engagement and empowering local leaders, promoting health literacy, and combating misinformation. So as we look to the future, our commitment to health security must be unwavering. In Lagos, we are actively working to strengthen our biosecurity frameworks, enhance our disease surveillance systems, and build a workforce that is prepared for the realities of the post-COVID-19 world. We are also committed to advancing local research, developing indigenous technology, and supporting domestic production of vaccines and medical supplies. We envision an Africa that is self-reliant, resilient, and a leader in global health.
From Ebola to COVID-19 and beyond, the message from here is to strengthen Africa's capacity to address emerging global health threats.